Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Grimm, and today we will be continuing our Let's Play of Tangle Tower. Last time we finished exploring the attic and getting everyone's suspicions out of the way, and today we're gonna be finishing showing everyone the last bits of clues we found around the towers. First with Freya.
We met Felix, your husband. He's one of our suspects, and he seems pretty suspicious if you ask me. So, if you want to stick up for him, now's your chance.
Nice try. We spoke to your daughter Fifi. She's some kind of super intelligent scientist. You must be proud of her.
Do you and Fitz have anything to do with each other? Other than your initials? Do you and Poppy get along?
Nothing. Shocker. Grimore, what could you possibly be writing down?
Oh no, I gave up making notes ages ago. Now I'm just doodling in the margins.
Nice.
What do you know about Penny?
I can't really imagine those two being friends, to be honest.
You never know. You know the guy in the other tower? Weird astronomy professor guy?
Can you see him from your window? Can he see you? We spoke to Hawkshaw. I assume she didn't get anything out of you either. I bet that really ticked her off. Is this your gramophone?
Do you know why it's cracked? Flora, this is your egg? Why do you keep it locked?
Is there supposed to be something in there, or is it always empty?
Have you seen this book before? Do you know who it belongs to?
I really thought she was going to say something there.
This is a photo of Fifi, isn't it? Your daughter?
What do you think of your husband's hobby?
Do you have any hobbies? You haven't seen this yet, have you?
It's a little model of you. Who were the other people next to you?
Do you know anything about these birds? Or birds in general?
I mean, he had a pet bird she loved, so probably.
Do you know anything about this beetle?
Yeah, most of these she is silent. But anything remotely related to her, it looks like they ask her something about it.
Do you recognize any of these feathers?
She does. Also, can we agree?
I like these drawings, Flora.
Is there a reason why you wanted us to see them?
Probably because of the bird.
Do you know what this is?
Guess not.
Can we agree it's super creepy that out of the middle of that eye probably is where the killer was looking through? By the way, I feel like it's obvious how she was killed now, but there's still a bit of explaining to do, so I'll hold off on it. But the eye really was watching them.
It's unlike her to leave paint on the brush.
I think we'll give her a pass, given the circumstances.
Ah, yes, so we shall. These drawings are quite precious. I'm surprised Flora let you see them.
What happened to the bird? Did it die?
I don't know. Seems likely, though, doesn't it? What is it?
We don't know. We were really hoping you would.
My friends, shed your hope and let it fall free like sandbags from a hot air balloon.
That's the most depressing idiom I've ever heard.
I mean, oh gosh, she's right. It's super depressing. Next, let's check on Fifi.
This belongs to Professor Pointer, does it not?
No, I don't think so.
Who else would own such a pointless little telescope?
It's a telescope.
Oh, yes. It has a telescopic lens. It could only be used for looking at things that are far away. The red paint on the brush is not paint. It is blood. Same
Yep.
for the palette.
So Freya added the blood to the painting herself?
Or blood got on the brush and palette some other way?
I do not know the answer. Freya drew these,
Yeah, I think so. There's a note on the back.
but she never showed them to me.
Well, I think it was a gift for your mother, like a private thing between Freya and Flora.
Oh, she did not like that.
Is this yours, Fifi?
I do not recognize it. And besides, I would have no use for such a thing. Perhaps it could be used to hang wet laundry?
Was that a joke?
Yes.
Aw, that's cute. Alright, done talking to Fifi.
There's something about Hawkshaw's handheld microscope. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
Later. I forgot we didn't do Hawkshaw's suspicions. Alright, let's do top down from the other side now. Do Fetz and lastly Hawkshaw. Hello. Bitch.
What's this? Is it a clue?
We don't actually know, but Grimoire picked it up, so now he has to pretend it is.
That's how it works.
Bro, really? At least give yourself a bit more credit. But yes, it is a clue. All these clues are important for something. That's what I really like about this game. Alright, next we got Penny.
I don't know what that is. Oh, that's rather sad. It's that bird. But these must have been drawn at least a year ago. Oh, how sad. Is that for sewing?
Maybe?
We have no idea.
Yeah, we got nothing. Well, they got nothing. I got everything. I love that track. So nice. Next up, we got Poppy. Hello.
Did you find that in Fifi's room?
Nope.
No? Should we have?
No, it's just... It looks like something she'd use, don't you think?
Well, actually, she says something your father would use.
Freya would always load up the palette with all the exact colors she was gonna need. I think it helped her zone out and focus on the actual painting itself. Like getting all your sheet music lined up before playing a long piece.
Right. So the blob of black paint in the middle, that was for painting Flora?
Flora's dress, yeah. She wears even more black than I do. How sweet. Where did you find this?
It was in the attic.
Oh, huh. I forgot we even had an attic.
Alright. That was everything, right? Sorry. I spaced out for a split second. Yeah, we really got basically everything last episode. Next up, we got Fitz. Alright.
There's something off about this.
What is it?
Why don't you take another look at Flora's room?
You think we missed a clue up there?
Not exactly.
More like what the colors correspond to. Like, what about that yellow glob there? What was that supposed to paint?
Did Freya draw these?
Yeah. There's a note in the back, too.
She was even closer to Flora than I realized. I don't know what that is.
Me neither.
Me 3. Oh, sorry. I thought you said me too.
Alright, hotshot. You damn hotshot.
The paint is still wet.
Yeah, well, we know Freya was in the middle of painting when she was killed.
Do you know that? How? Because you were told?
So annoying.
Does Flora still own that bird? Do you know?
Don't think so. The drawings are from a few years ago.
I see. What is that?
I'm not sure. It looks like it attaches to something else.
Why don't you go back and double check the area you found it? Maybe you'll find the rest of the something else.
I'm not so sure about that.
Trying to waste our time. Alright, we're
This little
suspicious.
microscope thing? You said you used it to search the greenhouse.
And this would make perfect sense. If you knew what my client had asked me to find. Of course, I still have no intention of disclosing that information.
You're such a tease, Hawkshaw. Don't worry, we already worked out what you're searching for.
Yep.
You're not as hopeless as you look.
Thanks.
So, that's what you were looking for in the greenhouse? This beetle?
Surely even you can understand the logic of it. The greenhouse is home to a great many insects. The gardener could have easily kept the beetle hidden in there.
Well, Fitz said you questioned him, but didn't actually search the greenhouse.
He's not exactly the type to appreciate subtlety. He simply didn't notice that I was using my microscope.
What do you reckon, Grimoire?
I know for a fact she didn't use the microscope in the greenhouse.
It's not a microscope at
It's
all.
not a microscope at all.
All of a sudden, Detective Grimoire is some kind of expert on microscopes.
Uh-huh. Well, if you actually know your shit. The handheld microscope is made entirely out of a magnifying lens. Sorry, telescopic lens. So Hawkshaw lied about it.
Handheld microscope. Almost. Maybe just...
Sorry. According to Fifi uses.
The handheld microscope, according to Fifi, uses a telescopic lens, so Hawkshaw lied about it. I'm inclined to believe Fifi when it comes to stuff like this.
Hawkshaw,
Yeah.
why did you lie about owning a telescope?
When you were a child, what did you aspire to become?
A detective? Naturally.
Emperor of the Galaxy?
I wanted to be an astronomer.
Really?
I harbored a desire to understand the secrets of the wider universe. A fool's errand, to be sure, but a seductive one. At 15, I decided instead to apply my intelligence to the world around me, and so I became a detective. But the yearning for elusive knowledge is a powerful force. I tried to keep it with me.
Sorry, but we're way off track. What's the deal with the little telescope?
A memento from my childhood. Little more than a toy.
Why did you bring it with you?
When I discovered that it was Professor Pointer who had hired me, I dared to consider it something of a planetary alignment. I had hoped he might sign my telescope. An extremely childish indulgence, I admit.
I never would have guessed.
Hold on. You're admitting you didn't use it in the greenhouse then?
Correct. As it happens, I have no need to search the greenhouse to such a degree. Professor Pointer doesn't consider the gardener a suspect in our theft investigation.
So, who is your suspect?
Things have become complicated. My lead suspect is
Is
your
dead.
murder victim.
Yep. Alright, with that, we gotta check all the suspicions now.
We know a little more about the crime scene now. So, what do you think? Was Freya stabbed by her own painting?
No. me see. Blood from the paint pot was used to paint over the painted ink dip feather.
Blood from the paint pot. Almost. Maybe just change one thing.
Was designed to match
Blood from the paint pot. Almost. Maybe just change.
the red tip of. Okay.
Blood from the paint
There we go.
pot was used to paint the red tip of the painted ink dip feather to resemble a bloody knife.
I think you're right. Can't decide if I'm disappointed or relieved.
I have a question. Why?
Either it's a very strange coincidence, or somebody set it up.
Somebody deliberately put blood in the paint pot and hid that feather after the crime. Why? To distract us?
Possibly.
Well, it worked.
Most likely.
Possibly.
Flora's the only person who could have hidden the feather, unless someone took it from her.
Let's go over what we do know. The door was locked the whole time. It stayed locked until Fitz kicked it down. Normally, it can only be opened from the inside. Pointer said he couldn't see Freya from his telescope, but he did see Flora lying by the window.
So whatever got Freya got Flora too?
Except Flora survived. She didn't get a stab wound like Freya did.
Hold on. If there was no knife, then what did stab Freya?
It could be anything. It might not even be important.
How is it not important?
Right now, I'm less interested in the what, and more interested in the how.
The angle of Freya's wound suggests she was stabbed at a perfect right angle. That is, from directly in front of her. But she was standing right up by the canvas.
Somehow, Freya ended up lying on her back, still perfectly in line with a painting.
Maybe something went through it.
Through the painting? Wouldn't that leave a hole?
Okay, well, how about this? How do we know Freya was stabbed before she fell over? Maybe her being stabbed and her falling over are completely unrelated.
Very interesting thought there, Sally. Here it is. What I've been looking for this whole time.
This wasn't here before.
What is it?
It's a little wooden toy. Looks kind of like a crab.
There's a note stuck to the back.
What does it say? Grimoire?
This is my new friend. He likes music. Simple melodies will move his soul. Best of luck, you two. Freya. A wooden toy of some kind. A layer of dark ink lays beneath a sheet of glass. Yeah. Freya's back from the dead. I think, I don't know.
What do you think? Is it really from her?
How can it be?
Why don't we check the handwriting with Freya's diary?
Good idea. Hold on.
Well,
It's a perfect match.
Oh,
it's confirmed. We have a ghost helping us.
well, that's great.
Let's keep this to ourselves for now.
What about the little wooden toy thingy?
Maybe we can put it to some kind of use.
Alright. Tangle Tower, Unfinished Business, Chapter 2. Let's continue. Alright, so next, we need to visit 4 locations. First, go back over here and go to these little birds. Birdsong. A wooden toy of some kind, a layer of dark glass, sits lays beneath a sheet of ice. Basically, you'll find simple melodies around Tangle Tower, and each melody will create a different shape. We need to find 4 of these. The first one's there. Second one is with a spell. The doorbell creates another shape. Third, we must go up back to Flora's room and play the gramophone again. Don't play the pink tape, play the waterboarded tape. Oh god, that sounds so bad. Play the drowned tape.
Weird.
Yep.
It's someone humming a tune.
Humming creates the third shape. It's so creepy. Finally, go all the way back down to the music room. Alright, now we talk to Poppy. Show her the music sheet
Yeah,
again.
It's mine.
And can you play a tune
Can
for
you
us?
play the tune for us?
Sure. It's literally 8 notes. I have it memorized.
And with that,
That's all 4 melodies, I think.
So, what do we do with them?
Should we go back to the gardens again?
yes. We're back to the gardens. Oh yeah, and the piano was the last one. Now, with these 4 shapes, you must put them in order
Let's try this again.
with the harp, the very first puzzle of the game.
You know, I think we might be...
Fuck,
I'm
what-
sure we can solve this now.
Sorry, I want to see what
Let's
Grimmer
try
said.
this again.
Never mind, I'm pretty sure he just said, I'm sure we can solve this now. By the way, if... I'm curious whether it is possible to do this at the very start of the game. There it is. Okay. I'm gonna take a photo real quick. If we ever do a bonus video, I want to try that and see if it works or not. Or I can just try at the end of this episode. It could work as well. But we'll see. Anyways, put in all the shapes, unlock
That's
this.
gotta be right.
Nothing. Maybe it's broken.
Wait, do you hear that?
The mouth of the statue opens up.
Where do you think it goes?
Down.
Go down. Make sure you finish everything above ground, including the missable achievement, because once you go down, you can't get back out. Tangle Tower, Chapter 3 underneath. Ooh.
Bugs. Big ones.
Looks like they're made of metal. What's in there?
Take a closer look. Ew. Bunch of beetles.
It's a little diagram of a beetle, with some incomprehensible notes scribbled next to it.
Oh, look, that one looked like a diamond, like jade. There's like a bunch of different gems.
What?
It looks really normal compared to the beetles behind the glass.
Normal compared to these. Oh! Because this one's the gold one.
It looks like they're being boiled. But the liquid is ice cold.
Thirsty?
Nope, not at all.
A cracked glass tank with 9 little rooms. Each one has 1 or 2 insects inside. I can't tell if they're still alive.
Ugh.
I like that you called them rooms.
Yeah, that's cute.
Is it locked?
Seems likely, doesn't it?
Let's look.
Weird looking safe.
I'm pretty sure the latches can slide into the middle.
Well, let's see if it works. Now, this puzzle gave me a lot of trouble when I first played this, and it still kind of does, honestly. So, what you'll want to do here... Okay. Basically, you need to connect this key to this lock. And to do so, gotta connect up these pathways in a way so that the lines overlap enough in a way that will allow you to connect all the way to the keyhole. Did I say it was easy? Nope. This one, I would say this is the hardest puzzle of the game. Okay, I'm pretty sure you gotta start here. You can't, this goes above, so it won't work. This is just a little bit too far to work. You can overlap shapes like that, but only so much. I think. Does that work? Pretty sure it doesn't. Okay. There we go. See, it doesn't overlap well, so that won't work. Okay. Wait, that doesn't connect properly in the first place. No. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. It does. I'm going a bit too fast. This one you can't move left or right, so this one truly doesn't fit in place. Alright, let's try this. Let's try it from the other side. Obviously, you gotta start with the blue. Let's try this one. Oh no, we can't do that. Try that. So it can overlap with this one. Connect here, overlap with that. So that I can overlap with this green one. So I can't do that. Okay. Maybe overlap like that. Connects to this one? Yes. Which connects like that. Which can then connect like that. Ooh, to this one up here. Oh. Doesn't work. Great. How about we'll move it to here. Then make this do that. That connects to there. This connects to here. Oh boy, I'm getting it now. Okay. Then this. Just gotta make it connect down there to here. From there, all the way to here.
That's the one.
Oh, damn, that was a lot.
Hey, not bad. Anything inside?
Yeah, more research.
Parts 1 through 3 of the secret research. And you can see, this is 4. Secret research. A folder containing research notes and diagrams. 1. Our unique flora and fauna is the byproduct of a number of as yet unidentified chemicals. 2. These chemicals are continually present in the water, forming clouds and filling the lake. This causes a variety of mutations in plants and animals. Smaller creatures such as arachnids, insects, mollusks, amphibians, and crustaceans are the most affected. However, the chemicals may travel up the food chain and cause mutations in birds and reptiles. As far as we know, mammals remain completely unaffected.
Whose research is this? This is some seriously in-depth research.
That's impressive, but it's incomplete. There's a
Hey, that's
section
Boggy.
missing.
That's Boggy right there. Look right here. That's cool. Oh.
So, this is Pointer's secret lab.
Definitely seems like he's the one using it.
I guess not a lot of people know about the secret entrance.
Right. But if Pointer's the only one who comes down here, why would he need to lock his research in a safe? Who's he hiding it from?
He's just paranoid, especially about his golden beetle.
What do you think he's trying to do exactly?
Let's think about this. Pointer. Wasn't aware of the golden beetle.
Pointer wasn't aware. Almost. Maybe just change one thing. Pointer. Nope.
Okay. Freya and
Pointer. That's not right.
okay, so this one, that one. Trying to breed.
Pointer has been trying to breed the golden beetle in the underground laboratory.
Why? Because it's rare?
Because it's gold?
Is that it?
I think so. I don't think he cares about entomology any more than he cares about astronomy. He just wants to get one over on Felix. If he can breed his own gold, suddenly Poppy's inheritance is looking pretty,
Infinite. Might explain why he was so worried about losing the beetle. Maybe somebody did steal it.
might have been Freya after all. We know she was trying to get through the secret door in the garden.
She might not have known what was down here, though. Maybe she was just curious.
Curious, sure, but not naive. I reckon she knew what was going on.
I think we're still missing the bigger picture. There's no way this is all just about a beetle. We're done.
Ready to go down?
Hold
Again?
on.
What a mess.
Any idea what this is all about?
Look closer. I almost missed an achievement. If you pull the papers out of the way, it's like in the first game.
Is that a periodic table?
No, but it does kind of look like one.
What are those symbols?
They're alchemic symbols, mostly based on the planets, the sun, the moon, stuff like that.
Huh.
Like that one.
Reminds me of the chart from the library.
Yeah, that's the chart from the library.
The one from the chalkboard.
Yeah.
And this is the one in the garden.
This looks like it was drawn in a hurry.
Didn't we see those same symbols in
Sorry,
the
in greenhouse. So this might be a reference to the third game, the Mermaid Mask. That's my theory on what all of this is. Or it might be another puzzle nobody's figured out. And with that, chemistry or alchemy, find 3 sets of similar research notes. You gotta find the one right here, the one in the greenhouse, and the one in the library to get the achievement.
A single book on a little makeshift table.
This is creeping me out slightly.
Yeah, me
Why?
too.
I think it's a children's book.
Ew. Well, sort of. Look! That's Boggy and Phoebe, the Ink Dip, the Silver Snake, and the Soul Bearer. Oh! The Soul Bearer! The same as the little crab here, and the same as the one in the secret diary. Soul Bearer works. And press the little thing. I have 2 now, need 2 more. Found my way into the middle, surprisingly simple. The laboratory compared to the harp. I saw them all 5, eyes blacked out. Despite everything, I still have a promise to keep. I'll do my best you could do with a little company. The middle here. What does it mean, eyes all blocked out?
What's in there?
Does it mean in here? Eyes all blacked out. Ew.
A cracked glass tank. Each one has 1 or 2 in it.
I like that you called them room.
God, it's creepy. Oh, I hate the scully in the background. But yeah, Freya was definitely onto something.
It's an old coat rack. Looks thoroughly neglected.
2 cloaks, and a green hat draped on top for good measure.
Reminds me of what Mr. Remington wore, honestly.
There's a roll of paper up there.
I'll see if I can reach it.
Let me guess. Blank.
No. Rooftop garden, aviary, music room, bedrooms, study?
Study. Wait,
I know what you're thinking. And no, we never went in there.
how did we miss it?
Because look,
The Grand Hall.
What's that thing in the middle?
I think it's that big glass tube.
except it leads to the study.
This seems pretty significant.
Agreed.
And look at this.
We're too late. This photograph has been stabbed.
Why? By what?
Not sure. Some kind of metal stabbing thingy.
I think it's a harpoon. Metal rod. A sleek but sturdy metal rod. It has been stabbed into a photograph. The rod has a curved and pointed tip, like an arrow or the clock or hand of a clock. It has a small loop at the back with a short length of red rope connected to it. Similar, the metal is perfectly clean and polished, as if somebody was trying to hide something. That red rope. Doesn't it look awfully familiar?
So what's the photo?
Damaged photo. It's been framed, but it's slightly damp. The photograph shows a young girl. A large man is sitting next to her. Around them are several red and white birds. A metal object was stabbed into the photo, leaving a hole near the man's chest. Oh. It was Flora's father. Wait a minute, I want to look at that a bit more. Jeez. Brutal.
Do you know who it is in the photo? This man in the photo He reminds me of something from one of our clues.
I believe you're referring to this one.
Felix made a little model of him for Flora.
Yeah, it makes sense when you know who he is.
Lord Remington.
Lord Remington.
Remington. That makes him Flora's father, meaning the girl in the photo is...
Yeah, it's her. See the bird, too.
I never would have guessed. Times sure do change.
I don't know. I don't think she looks so different.
Grimoire's like, yeah, sure.
A single book on a little makeshift
This is,
fly.
I think it's a children's book.
Old cardboard boxes.
How exciting.
Oh, but there's more. They're also damp. And empty. Do these puddles worry you?
Why?
That's lake water, but it's indoors.
Ah, I see your point.
Yeah.
Basements don't normally have windows.
We're at the bottom of the lake. We must be.
Right. But if that's the lake bed, why does it look like that?
Like what?
White, smooth, no plants, no anything. That's not what a lake looks like.
Where are we?
Did you notice how much light this room has? For a room with one candle?
It's all coming through the window.
I'm pretty sure lakes are supposed to be darker at the bottom, not lighter.
Why is there a room down here anyway? And why is it so much older than the rest of Tangle Tower?
We still don't really know why people came to live here in the first place.
Maybe they just wanted to get rich, like Pointer with his beetles.
I feel like the Remingtons came here for the lake, for what was in it.
It's empty though. More empty than a normal lake would be.
It is now, yeah. Maybe we're too late.
The Remingtons were hunting something here. And they definitely got to it before we got here.
Let's head back up to the Grand Hall. I want to find that last room.
Let's go.
Wow, it's dark all of a sudden.
How long were we down there?
This must be it. This thing goes all the way up.
Yeah.
How are we supposed to get up there?
Hang on, it's pitch black, but I think there's a switch.
Pull it.
A ladder.
Want to go up?
Hell yeah. Now this truly is the last room of the game, I swear. Tangle Tower. The Hidden Heart. A secret. Find your way into the secret room.
Is that a crab?
It's got a translucent exoskeleton. You can actually see its insides.
Also, crabs normally have 2 claws, right? Not 3?
That's why it's called a soul bearer.
You sure we should be touching it?
Grimoire, don't you think it looks familiar?
It does.
This
So
crab really reminds me of something.
That
I
little
know.
wooden toy we found?
yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to help us. I think I've seen it more recently.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I remember now. So in the children's book, look at its form. Look at its position here. Just like that. Okay.
Is that a crab?
It's got a
Also, crabs
So rotate this to go here. Open that up. Make it point that way. Just rotate that. Open that, and keep that closed and point it up a little bit. That's it. Yep. Easy puzzle.
What's this?
Something somebody didn't want us to find.
A crossbow. That looks like it could hook up a metal rod and attach on a little rope.
What is it?
First,
An axe and some kind of hunting rifle, mounted on the wall.
Honestly, doesn't look like they've been moved in a few years.
I'm more worried about the third one.
The third one?
The one that isn't there.
the crossbow.
Coffee table, half-empty wine bottle, lamp left on. I'm gonna say someone's been using this room.
Someone complacent enough to leave their notebook lying around.
Several pages have been ripped out, but a few remain. Fifth ambassador located, finally. Can't say I harbored any optimism, but still somehow disappointed. No better than the rest of them. Took my misted friend into the music room for experiments. It worked. Perhaps too well. The laboratory was another disappointment. All that effort? For what? He's even more short-sighted than I could have guessed. Went to the bottom. Nice view. It's been mostly cleaned out, but I have what I need. She got in. She was careful. Nothing was moved, but I know. It's time. You would think at first this is Freya, but at the end, she got in. She was careful. Nothing was moved, but I know it's time. Time to murder her. Is what the murderer probably thought.
You know, in any normal room, this thing would be my main concern. In here, though, it barely makes the top 3.
Yeah.
Dragon?
Snake?
Serpent.
Worm?
That's the one.
Yeah. Worm. Definitely worm. With a Y.
It's a wooden pinboard, hung up on one of the chains.
Looks like there's a couple of things missing from it.
A large central sheet of paper has been pinned to it. 4 lines have been drawn from a gap in the center. A smaller sheet underneath features a drawing resembling the silhouette of a cloaked figure. On green paper, no less. Have we seen that green paper before?
Who are all the people in this photo?
Not sure, but it looks like someone didn't like them very much. Their eyes have all been crossed out.
Yeah, the 5 eyes crossed out. And that's Mr. Remington. A photograph in a sturdy wooden frame. It's dusty and looks several years old. A brass plaque at the base of the frame reads, "The Ambassadors of Misted Mansion." The photo shows 2 women and 3 men, wearing a variety of different styles of clothing. All 5 people have had their faces cruelly covered with black ink. Misted Mansion, Look at that scar. Look at his scars. Interesting. Interesting indeed.
That photo is important. I'm sure of it.
How many clues have we found? We found 9. There's 1 left to find.
Do those look like scratch marks to you? On the glass?
Yeah, they're on the inside.
That's probably not a good sign.
Some kind of fish and a bird skull, I guess?
If that's a bird skull, we're talking about a 15-foot bird here.
Well, how about we stop talking about it? Centipede? Millipede? How many legs has it got?
Too many.
Agreed.
They called this room a study?
What would you call it?
The secret death chamber of doom.
Fair enough.
That's a bookcase. It's mostly empty.
What a surprise.
Yeah.
An incinerator built into the wall. It's still pretty hot.
Is there anything left inside?
It's mostly ashes. But yeah, there's something.
Burnt items. Not much more than a pile of dust and ash. Among the ashes are several black buttons. Red color scraps of fabric are still visible. And a feather.
Someone's been using this room.
And by the way, what have they been using to make the fire all pink? Very interesting.
I don't get it. This room is in the original building plans for the mansion, but nowadays it's some big secret?
It's not a secret to everybody. At least one other person still knows about this room.
The way the notebook was left out on the table makes me think it's someone who has the room all to themselves.
Whoever it was, they left more than just the notebook. There's a whole design project on this pinboard. Feels like someone
Yep.
put quite a bit of effort into it.
It's a shame there are things missing from it. I'm betting it'd make more sense if we could see it all together.
That might not be impossible, you know.
Alright. This? Look at Freya's drawing. How interesting. And this up here? I'm actually forgetting what the other one was. I believe it would be the case file.
That
No.
doesn't
Okay.
seem right.
We need something that could attach to the pinboard.
That's not right. Something that's been taped at the top, with lines drawn on top of it.
Got it. I forgot. The photo of painting. Before we continue... Well, never mind then.
The painting from Freya's room and those sketches. Did Freya design Detective Hawkshaw's clothes? What
No.
kind of sense does that make?
I don't think that's why Freya made that painting, but it may have been why somebody took a photo of it to use as reference. And as for those sketches of Hawkshaw, I don't think Freya actually drew them. It was somebody else, someone with less of a talent for art.
Doesn't exactly narrow it down. Should we go ask Detective Hawkshaw about all this?
No.
I'm not sure. I still don't know what's really going on.
Yes. Hawkshaw designed themselves based on Freya's nightmare that took form in the shape of a painting. That is why, in her diary, she wrote, "It's back, in the flesh this time. Was it me? Did I let it out? Maybe I should rip up that painting." They arrive and terrified Freya because of what it would be to her. It would cause her death. They were the death of her.
Another photograph.
Their faces are all crossed out with some kind of black ink.
That's weird.
Oh, you think so?
No, I mean, something I just realized. Sally, did we meet any of these people here at Tangle Tower?
Well, the woman on the left looks a little like Poppy, but her style is way different. And at first I thought the guy on the top right was Felix, but now that I look at it, I don't think it is him.
Was someone trying to hide it? From us?
I don't know, but it looks incomplete to me. I want to know what happened to the rest of it. Where are the other parts?
We found them already.
We found them already.
This is the really thing.
I think that might attach the crossbow, but not this part of the crossbow.
Fine. Sorry, I meant the small lens. This is the real thingy. And finally, this is where the metal rod goes. And with that, the crossbow's complete.
What do you make of it?
Not sure. Let's keep an open mind.
You don't think the crossbow is the murder weapon?
Oh no, the crossbow is definitely the murder weapon.
100%.
But that doesn't mean we've solved the mystery.
The murder.
Time to solve this.
All right, break out the notebook. Time to put it all together.
Let's start with this. It's an arrow for the crossbow, and it matches Freya's wound. It's the murder weapon. I'm sure of it.
Despite the fact it doesn't have any blood on it, and it wasn't found anywhere near the crime scene.
It was cleaned, then it was hidden. I don't think anybody expected us to get down to that room at the bottom of the lake.
Okay, so Freya was shot by a crossbow. Where was it fired from?
Above.
It was fired from above Freya.
Above, huh?
Yeah, our diagram doesn't show everything. Let's add in the rest of the crime scene.
The attic.
Perfect hiding place. We even found a part of the murder weapon up there. The reel was used to pull the arrow back up through the crack in the floorboards.
Explains why we never found a weapon at the crime scene, I guess.
The murderer must have dropped the reel in the attic. I'm guessing they were in a hurry to escape.
And remember, we never found out who were the first set of calm and collective footsteps Felix heard that night. And they kind of forgot about it. But, yeah, it was a murder.
Wait, the arrow was fired through the crack in the floorboards?
Yeah, it's directly above where Freya was found lying on her back.
Nope, doesn't add up. It would have missed her if she was still standing up by the painting.
Ah, right.
Unless...
Freya was already lying on her back.
Freya was already lying on her back before the arrow was fired.
I think so too.
She'd fallen unconscious.
She'd fallen unconscious.
Something in the room caused Freya to fall unconscious.
The gramophone.
The gramophone.
Right.
But the gramophone by itself can't do that.
There's something in the
There was
gramophone.
something in the gramophone.
Something small.
Like a beetle, perhaps.
Pointer's research says it can emit an incredibly loud hiss when it feels threatened. Poppy and Fitz both said they heard a loud noise around the time of the murder. Neither of them had any idea what it was.
This seems a little far-fetched. Is it really loud enough to knock someone out?
No, I don't think so, not by itself. But don't forget, it was being amplified by the shape of the gramophone. I don't think we're purely talking about volume either. It might just be a particular type of frequency.
This is getting kinda scientific. Since when do you know anything about the effects of weaponized audio frequency?
I don't, but I think someone else does. Do you remember that statue we found in the music room? The hornet's playing. It's a pretty similar shape to the one on the gramophone. That broken glass isn't there on accident. This is someone's science experiment.
Thinking about it, Pointer said he saw Flora was knocked out too. I guess they were both in range of the noise, although Pointer might have been lying.
Personally, I think he was telling the truth about that. It's pretty clear a powerful frequency did pass through Flora's tower. Caused quite a bit of damage too.
I mean, the gramophone itself,
Those cracks didn't appear out of nowhere. Freya's paints, the
And
pink
the
cassette
paint.
tape, and the gramophone itself.
all of them.
They all sustained similar damage while they were in that room.
That's some seriously powerful vibration, enough to crack metal, enough to knock someone out all the way across a room.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't get. If the frequency was so powerful and had such a big range, how did the murderer pull it off? Wouldn't they have been in range too? Think about it. They can't have been much further away from the gramophone than Flora was.
They protected themselves
They protected themselves.
How?
with a set of earmuffs.
These are some pretty heavy-duty earmuffs. I think they'd be enough to block out the sound.
Right. Let's go over everything from the start. 1. Freya is painting Flora's portrait. They're listening to music on the gramophone.
2. The murderer is hiding in the attic, wearing earmuffs.
3. The golden beetle starts to emit its hissing noise.
Hold on. How did it know?
The beetle?
Yeah, what triggered it at that particular moment? Pointer's research said it makes the noise when it feels threatened.
I'm not sure. Maybe something in the music?
Maybe.
4. Freya and Flora are both knocked unconscious by the vibrations. Freya lands on her back. She drops the brush and palette by her side.
5. The murderer fires the crossbow directly downwards.
6. The arrow is pulled back up on the reel.
7. The murderer leaves the attic, presumably.
8. The door is kicked down. Fitz and Poppy enter the room.
That's it. There's something bothering me.
What?
I just want to check something. Let's go back to the crime scene.
Okay. Flora's Tower. Check the painting.
The answer is in the painting. I'm sure of it.
Why is there a second flower pot? If it's even a flower pot.
I can see the stars. The plant. It's in the book.
What?
Look.
The one the ink dip loves to eat.
Freya, did you leave us a clue?
She hadn't used the yellow at all.
So what's bothering you?
Something that's not here. The thing we didn't find. We know she was holding it during the painting.
Flora's ink dip feather?
It was here. In this room. Where'd it go?
We found it somewhere
We
else.
found it somewhere else.
Look at the burnt items. Let's see what is contained in them.
We were a little too late to save it.
So it was stolen from the crime scene. And
Yep.
ended up in the incinerator down in the study.
Someone wanted to destroy it, I guess.
But how? How was it stolen from up here in Flora's Tower?
Presumably, Flora dropped it when she fell unconscious.
Yeah, and then what? The murderer couldn't have stolen it if they were up in the attic.
So the question is, how could they steal something from a room they weren't able to access? The final clue about the crime scene. Freya left it for us right here.
It's in the unfinished painting.
It's in the unfinished painting. It's not quite a photo, but still, it's an image of the crime scene recorded just before the murder.
Yep.
If only she'd finished it, then I could be totally sure.
It's true she never finished it, but she did intend to finish it.
Meaning?
We know more about the painting than what Freya actually got down on the canvas.
Look at the brush and palette. Look at it. Look.
Freya prepared all the colors she was going to need before she started painting.
The yellow paint was going to be used to paint the sketch of something sitting in the window.
Yellow paint was going to be used to paint the sketch of something sitting in the window.
Something in the window. Oh.
He's realized it too. Oh no.
There she is. Our little thief.
How long has it been there? Did it hear the whole conversation?
She did. But she's a very good listener.
Oh no. So, have you realized who it is yet,
Well,
ladies and
now.
gentlemen?
I think this has quite served its purpose, don't you?
Who is Detective Hawkshaw? She's a fan of detective books. She loves the birds. And she's definitely very well acquainted with the tower. It's Penny.
Penny, why did you...
It's Penelope, if you don't mind. But before we begin, isn't there a certain formality demanding our attention? Lovely. Now, tell me, what was it that drove you this far? I'm ever so curious.
Personally, I wanted to help her friends.
I wanted to help Freya's friends.
Is that right? Interesting.
Why did you do it, Penny? What did Freya do to you?
Absolutely nothing.
So, what? You just hated her indiscriminately?
Freya Fellow was an inspiration to us all. She was possessed of a great energy. The volition to create something from nothing. The willpower to walk beyond her boundaries. She was truly free. Everything I couldn't be.
You know what? I just realized I actually have no idea who Penelope Pointer really is.
Weird, isn't it? Considering we've met her, what is it, 3 times now?
Exactly. How do we know this one isn't a disguise too?
You think you've already hollowed us out, don't you? Only a few short hours at Tangle Tower, and you feel like you've got everyone sussed. Unearthed every single one of our secrets. Nothing but bullet points for your notebook. Go on, indulge me. What does it say in your notes about Penelope Pointer?
She's lonely.
I suppose I can't argue with that, can I?
Penny, we only know what you choose to tell us, so why not help us out?
Very well. Penelope Pointer is actually not very important at all. She pales in comparison to those who came before her and to those that came after. Living at Tangle Tower, it is very difficult to attain the levels of self-realization you probably take for granted.
You sure this is a Tangle Tower thing, and not a you thing?
Perhaps you didn't notice. Not one of them is happy, not one.
So why stay? Why not just leave?
I thought she did leave. Penny, you said you traveled, didn't you?
I did. Many times I've walked away. It did not help me. You saw the family tree hanging in the grand hall, did you not?
Yeah, it lists a bunch of people who don't live here anymore.
A bunch of people who don't live here anymore. I couldn't have put it better myself. My mother, for one. My father, too. The other 2 Remingtons. Poppy's mother, Primrose. And her brother, Richard.
And Fitz's father.
That's 5. 5 people that might have lived here, but don't.
And that was the first question I wanted answered.
You wanted to know where they'd all gone?
More than that, I wanted to know if I belonged with them. I have no place here. Not among the Fellows, the Remingtons, or the Pointers. But I felt there must be a reason why everyone else left. Some common purpose they all shared. Perhaps it could be my purpose too.
So, what did you actually do about it?
Nothing I could do, at first. Nobody would tell me anything. The more questions I asked, the fewer answers I got. Then, I found it. I was 19. Same age Freya is now.
Found what?
The study.
The study. The one hidden in the middle of the house. It's right next to a bedroom.
I'd hear voices at night. Deep ones. And the strangest thing, the wall behind my bed would get incredibly hot. For hours on end. The paint would peel. Wallpaper wouldn't stay up. I thought I was cursed. I thought it was something trying to break through. Eventually, I couldn't take it anymore. I found my way in the same way you did. Once you know it's there, it's simple.
So, you got into the study and found the incinerator. That must have been a relief, right?
It was still warm when I found it. Then, I looked inside. Let's see how thorough you've been. Tell me, do you know what a misted is?
Misted?
Mistids? Sure, yeah.
You're more observant than I thought.
Sorry, what are we talking about?
It's a collective term, from before my time. Birds, insects, amphibians, anything living off the lake water. The mutation can take several generations, or it can happen overnight.
Wait, mistids. Like cryptids? Like Bigfoot or whatever?
A little egregious, isn't it? I suspect that was an intentional parallel. The main difference being mistids are perfectly real. They're just kept secret. Or at least, that was the original plan. As it happened, some got out. Quite a few got out.
How do you know all this?
When I entered the study at 19, I found a single object that rather changed my life. Something which answered my questions while at once creating all new ones.
The group photo.
The 5 missing family members standing together as a single unit, calling themselves the ambassadors of Misted Mansion.
So, the house was renamed from Misted Mansion to Tangle Tower?
And rightly so. The age of Misted Mansion is long past. When I looked inside the incinerator on my first visit to the study, I found nothing but ash. The afterimage of a bygone era, denied to me in its entirety. The study, the room at the bottom of the lake itself, all empty shells. I felt my only hope lay with the ambassadors. If I could find them, maybe they'd share the family history that Flora and the others were trying so hard to forget.
How did you track them down?
It was tough. They'd taken almost everything. Books, maps, charts, the creatures themselves, all lost, taken away or destroyed. But I got lucky. I got a lead. I found one, and he led me to the rest.
And? What happened? Why'd you paint out all their faces?
They didn't help you either, did they?
19-year-old me had imagined they'd all left with a mission, a unified purpose, but they hadn't. They were, in fact, every bit as fractured as the people that still live here. Most of them had left tracking escaped mistids. Some claimed to be researchers, others little more than hunters. All 5 completely useless to me.
Even your own parents?
Eventually, I returned to Tangle Tower. I had nowhere else to go. I considered giving up. But instead, I made a decision. There was only one person at Tangle Tower still of interest to me. My dear Uncle Pointer had suddenly made a show of taking up astronomy. A fairly superficial charade. I don't think many people were fooled by it. But I knew it wasn't just A falsehood. It was a mask. Pointer had found something from the era of Misted Mansion.
The golden beetle.
So, where did he get the beetle?
I cannot be sure, but I theorize that he received it in the post.
In the post? From who?
Who can say? Someone outside Tangle Tower. But the thought that he would be in contact with such a person, all that time, I decided to take what was owed to me.
So you stole it.
Stealing the beetle turned out to be only the first step. Upon realizing it was gone, Pointer made little effort to disguise his frustration. I asked what was bothering him. He foresaw no risk in sharing a little of the truth with his niece. He told me he'd lost a rare treasure, something he'd been keeping safe. I suggested, innocently, that perhaps it was not lost. Perhaps it had been stolen. He was very ready to believe he'd been the victim of theft. When I offered to call in a private detective, he jumped on the idea. She arrived the next day. Hawkshaw prides herself on her punctuality, as you know.
Why, though? Why go through all that? The name, the costume, and everything?
It's somewhat sad to admit, but I had little use left for Penny Pointer as she was. Hawkshaw afforded me new advantages, opportunities.
But didn't you have to pretend to be working for Professor Pointer?
Well, that was one of the advantages. Pointer was in such a desperate state, he was finally willing to share some of his secrets. On the second day, Hawkshaw explained she needed to be able to search the secret laboratory. Pointer gave in and gave me the code for the harp statue. Reluctantly, but still.
So, you stole Pointer's research?
I would have done, if I'd found anything worth stealing. But he had made remarkably little progress, barely scratching the surface of the beetle's true mystery.
Which is?
Ha! It carries an exoskeleton approximately 90% identical to gold. But it's not the 90% I'm interested in. Did you ever question what exactly makes the water here so unique? Before Misted Mansion was built over the lake, before the lake was even a lake, Lord Remington and his wife built a small structure here, a research station, supposedly. Fast forward 2 or 3 generations, and as you saw for yourself, it's been mostly cleared out.
The ambassadors took everything when they left.
And everything they didn't take was burned in the incinerator. However, possessing additional insight, I found something the others had missed. It's not much, but I have what I need.
So, why isn't this the end of the story? Why did you stay? Why did you kill Freya?
All right, now the will of Freya Fellow, the finale. Where'd the bird go? Man. I hope it's not up to anything.
Simply put, Freya was too good for me. It's my fault. I pushed her over the edge, unknowingly, but still, I take the blame.
What are you talking about?
Did you know I based the design for Hawkshaw on something Freya painted?
Yep, you painted her literal nightmare.
That's right. I had assumed it was purely abstract. I just thought it had a good energy. I later discovered it was a figure of some kind, something from Freya's recurring nightmare. For all her vitality, I think Freya was probably the most troubled of all of us. She was desperate to leave Tangle Tower, but she couldn't just walk away. For quite some time, she'd been trying to break into Pointer's laboratory. Freya and her friends were halfway through deciphering those symbols on the harp statue, I believe.
Why did she care about getting into Pointer's lab?
That's exactly what I wondered. At first, I thought perhaps she just wanted to free the beetles. She has a fondness for them. What Pointer was doing upset her significantly. But in fact, I think it was something else. I think she wanted to free Fiona. The real reason Freya was unable to leave Tangle Tower is that she could not get Fiona to agree to come with her. We're now firmly in the realm of speculation, but I think Freya felt that exposing the darker secrets of Tangle Tower, not just to the rest of the family, but to the world, would compromise all three families, and perhaps, somehow, free Fiona from the shackles of her inheritance. That was her plan anyway, but something happened before Freya could find her way into Pointer's laboratory.
She found her way into your study, found your notes, found that photograph. I'm willing to bet she put it all together quicker than we did.
So she worked out what had happened to the 5 ambassadors. Specifically, what you'd done to them when they refused to help you.
Freya had made a promise to paint Flora as a birthday gift, a parting gift no less. She'd be in a locked room, several hours away from her friends. It was my best chance.
But why hide in the attic? And why bother with the beetle at all?
The beetle in the gramophone wasn't for Freya. It was for Flora. She didn't deserve to be involved. She suffered enough. I couldn't get Flora out of her room, but if she could be unconscious, then she wouldn't have to witness anything.
Why the knife? The illusion of the painted knife with the blood.
That was for Fiona. And Poppy too, I suppose. Gave them something to focus on.
You mean it distracted them while you made your escape?
It helped them cope. The very idea of something abstract, something supernatural. I believe it made things marginally less painful for them, initially. Worked on you, too.
So why are you still here? Why not take your first chance and leave?
Well, I've been waiting for an opportunity to get my beetle back. I'd really rather not leave without it.
Wait, it's still here?
It's still inside the gramophone.
Ah, shit. Fuck, she got us. She got us good.
What's going on?
Poppy, they are both awake.
I can see.
You two all right?
My head hurts. What happened to us?
You were both unconscious. 14 minutes by my count.
Really?
You're both fine. No injuries.
Was it the beetle? In the gramophone? I heard it through the ceiling in my room.
The exact same sound we heard before the murder.
I guess it must have been.
So how did we get down here? What happened to Penny?
Fit saved both of you, obviously.
When I reached Flora's tower, you were both unconscious, and Penny was crouched down beside you. She had her crossbow on her, but who knows? She may have just been checking you were both asleep.
Did you know that she was the murderer?
Poppy and Fifi suspected her. Apparently, they were pretty close to solving it themselves.
Fitz did not want to believe us, because he liked Penny. A lot.
But what happened? Fitz, what did she do when she saw you?
She jumped out the window.
What? Did she survive?
She did.
I heard something land in the garden outside my room, but by the time I got out there to check, she was already gone.
Hang on. Poppy, why do you have Penny's hat bird?
She left him behind. I found him sitting on the floor in the aviary, all by himself. Poor little thing. The mean lady didn't care about you at all, did she? No, she didn't.
I apologize. Poppy seems to be under the illusion that the bird can understand human language.
So, Penny got away.
I'm afraid she did.
We had suspected she might try to escape. I was stationed here by the lake's edge. I proved to be an ineffective guard. She took the boat.
Did she take the beetle with her?
Nope,
How do you know?
because it's right here.
It was still in the gramophone. I guess I scared her off before she had a chance to take it.
Poppy, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to give it back to your father?
No, I'm not. It doesn't belong to anyone. So, I'm going to put it on the ground and never bother it again. I think that's what she would have wanted.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of Tangle Tower. What did y'all think? I think it was very good. It's definitely my favorite out of the two to have released so far. However, like I said at the start of this Let's Play, we have the third game coming out this year, so who knows? That might become a new favorite. People have stated how, well, some people online stated how they don't really like the ending. Personally, I love it. Because the point of this game was to follow up the last game, showing, hey, there's fucking this association that was hunting down the cryptids, and then it showed the source of the cryptids, which was the lake in Tangle Tower, which is fucking cool. Oh, there it goes. And now Penny's still out there, and she's probably just gonna be in, maybe not in the next game. Definitely not the next game. Oh god. Oh, untangle the tower. Complete the game. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I got all the achievements. Alright. So, upon completing the game, you get access to the music player, or all the tracks in the music player. It's nice. You can hear all the tracks, all the themes. How many tracks are there? Yeah, 7, 21, that's it? Interesting. Isn't that such a cool thing though, how from the start if a person was abstract enough, they could see like, man, that kind of looks like Hawkshaw. Like, it does, look, that's the face, her hair, her robe, it's so cool. And finally, well, yeah, finally we have the art gallery here. Well, there's a lot to go over, so we'll do that in a bonus video. We'll do a quick bonus video going through the art, and I do want to try one last thing in the game. So, I'll do a short, like, little video going over little trivia of the game. I think that could be interesting. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that'll be it for this Let's Play. Thank you for joining and watching, and this was just really fun. Please buy the game, and please wishlist the third game. Because holy shit, that's gonna be really good. I had a blast replaying this. I genuinely forgot most of it until about a sixth of the way through. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what happened. Well, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I hope to see you all then.